Hello, Iona College. Welcome back to WICR's Radiothon. I'm your host with the most, Jersey Joe, bringing you all the sports information you need to know. And like I said, throughout the show, people have been tweeting us at Sports Vault Iona. Any fantasy-related questions they've had, feel free to type us a question, and we'll get it on the air. Just got another one in, so let's do it. You have somebody who asked, do you like Dwayne Bowe this week against the Chargers? Dwayne Bowe against the Chargers is an interesting one. The Chiefs are coming off a tough loss to the Broncos. Dwayne Bowe played well in that game, but overall, he just hasn't played well this year. I think Alex Smith is not too big of an explosive down the field quarterback. He keeps everything within the chains, 10 yards, 20 yards, pick it up, slowly move the ball down the field. And Dwayne Bowe's more of an explosive wide receiver. The Chargers defense has played pretty well this year. Eric Weddle is one of the better safeties in the league. He recognizes plays very well, and the Chiefs just have not run a lot of explosive down the field plays. I think that's when Dwayne Bowe works best. So I would, if he's one of your top receivers and you don't have the depth, of course start him. But if you have the depth, I would definitely maybe keep him on my bench for this week. But like I said, we're rolling around. I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of a college football preview. A lot of good games. Last weekend was phenomenal. Maybe the best college football weekend of so far. And right now you got a game. You got Rutgers taking on UCF. A lot of people have slept on UCF, number 18th ranked team in the country, 9-1 record. They've been a phenomenal team this year. They beat Louisville. They have a couple quality wins. They're a very well-coached team. They're a good team, UCF. They put up points. I like UCF a lot. They're a good team. I would definitely keep my eye on them if you get to look at them a little bit before the season's over. But like I said, the season is rolling along. Next week after Thanksgiving, we have the rival weekend. It's going to be fantastic. So this is one of the final weekends of the season, and we've got a couple good games to highlight this weekend and go over. So let's start it off with Ohio State and Indiana. Ohio State, the number 3 ranked team in the country, have not lost a game yet. Urban Meyer and his Buckeyes have just been phenomenal this year. Braxton Miller, what can you say about him? I liked Kenny Guyton a little bit better. I kind of thought he threw the ball better, but you can't argue with the results that Braxton Miller has put up. I think Ohio State will get a pretty easy win here against Indiana. Illinois showed a little bit more life against Ohio State than I thought. It was a closer win than I thought it was going to be. I thought Ohio State would just roll over them. So that surprised me a little, but Ohio State, they'll take care of business against Indiana. And the problem with Ohio State is you got Florida State and Alabama in your way. And I think even if one of those two teams lost a game, maybe Florida State, but I think they've just played tougher schedules. Ohio State they just haven't faced quality opponents this year. Probably the toughest game they played was Northwestern. It will be Michigan, and both those teams have just not had a good year. Nobody has that they've played, so it's a tough position for Ohio State because I think they're a worthy team. They're a good team, but they just can't compare to the strength of schedule that Florida State and Alabama has, and that's all college football is. I think it's fair that they wouldn't get in because strength of schedule is key, and they just don't have the resume that Alabama and Florida State does. And talking about those, you have Oregon and Arizona. Like I said last week on my show, The Sports Vault, watch out for Utah against Oregon. Utah played them tough. Oregon came out on top, though. This is a tough road game, though. Arizona is a pretty good team. This is a tough Pac-12 game on the road. Oregon should get the win here. But that was obviously very disappointing for their season, losing that game to Stanford. They lost a little bit of life in them there, but I think they'll take care of business against Arizona. Should be a fun Pac-12 matchup to watch. That's one of the ABC games at 3:30. I'll definitely have my eye on that one. And the next one, wow, this one is going to be fantastic. Texas A&M against LSU. LSU, obviously, a couple tough losses, but they're a very good team, LSU. Zach Mettenberger is a phenomenal quarterback. Such good arm. Throws the ball very well down the field. And I think part of the problem with LSU is the schedule thing. The SEC teams just kill each other. And it's tough. They like to talk about how they have the hardest schedule, and they do, but it's kind of their own demise because when you play each other, this physical teams, they're all phenomenal. You just beat up on each other so badly, and a team like LSU is probably better than a lot of the teams in front of them. They play too tough of a schedule, so they pile up the losses. But LSU's a capable team. They're at home here against Texas A&M, who once again, same story. I mean, they have quality losses to teams like Auburn and Alabama. They played well in those games, had chances to win those games, but Johnny Manziel, also him, I mean, he's had a phenomenal year. I think Heisman watching wise, you either have Jameis Winston, you have Johnny Manziel, or Marcus Mariota from Oregon. Either one of them, I mean, all three of them have a shot, but Manziel's had a phenomenal year. Even the games he lost, like I said, he played phenomenal. This is going to be one of those classic SEC matchups. Really looking forward to this one. This one you can find on CBS at 3:30. I'll definitely be watching this one, and it's going to be great. It's not a good game, but it's worth talking about because Florida State, Florida State and Idaho. Florida State should beat this team. I mean, handle it. I mean, it's going to be a blowout, not even close. But the thing I'm looking out for here is how will Jameis Winston respond? You've obviously heard his name. A lot of controversy regarding him in the news so far, especially today with a lot of news emerging. So the main thing I want to see here is how is he going to play? How is he going to stand up with all these rumors? He's got a lot of controversy. Is it going to mess up his play a little bit? It didn't distract him last week, but we've got a little bit more information this week, a little bit worse of a situation. So is it going to mess him up a little bit? I don't know. Idaho's not very intimidating. Florida State could probably beat him without Winston, but it's something to consider. But overall, they should and will win this game. After that, though, another game to keep your eye on is I'm really excited for this one is Oklahoma State and Baylor. Baylor is one of the lone undefeated teams left, right behind Ohio State at number 4. And like I've kept emphasizing the last couple weeks on my show, The Sports Vault, you've got to look at Baylor. They were playing the meat of their schedule at the end. They had a cake schedule at the beginning of the season, and man, they have played a tough schedule the last couple weeks. Last week they had a nice win over Texas Tech, before that over Oklahoma, and I said, for starting with the Oklahoma game, we're going to find out if Baylor's for real or not, and they've convinced me so far. They beat Oklahoma, they beat Texas Tech, they've still got to play Texas, and Oklahoma State's going to be a test. I'm not crazy about Oklahoma State. They're the 10th ranked team in the country, but Baylor should beat them. It is a road game for Baylor, so it's a tough environment to play in. But I'm just gonna say, if Baylor beats Oklahoma State, I am more convinced than I was. Still not 100% convinced, but they will have sold me completely on them, because to go for the last stretch, if they remain undefeated, that's quite a testament to Baylor, because they will have finished the stretch of the season beating Oklahoma, Texas Tech, Oklahoma State, and Texas. That is not too many teams can compare with the strength of that schedule. Very difficult, very impressive if Baylor is able to pull it out there. So I'll definitely keep my eye on that one. Baylor with a high-powered offense. They put up a lot of points. Even against Oklahoma, when it looked like their offense was going to be exposed a little bit, they showed up and they put up a lot of points. This Baylor offense is like Oregon, except they're a little bit farther down. So they're very, very explosive. Fun to watch. That's the ABC feature game of the night, and it's good because the last couple of ABC games of the night haven't been too great. Last week's was okay with Stanford and USC, but that's definitely something I would keep my eye on. And, just any other games I'm browsing through real fast if I think you guys need to know about any more of them on the list. Not too many other good ones on this list right now. Maybe one to look forward to is Michigan Northwestern. Northwestern had a tough loss against Michigan. A lot of people are overlooking Michigan State this year, though. They're a very good team this year. In a down conference, though, but so something to keep your eye on there. Overall, though, that's all you got to know. Just re-updating you on the UCF Rutgers game. Still 7-0 UCF. Not much moving in that game so far. We'll be back, going to a short break, some more NFL classic music, and when we come back, we got some more stuff. Not sure what we're going to do yet, but we got a little bit of everything, so be right here.